I want to go through everything you guys need to know about this upcoming season, Modern Warfare's Season 4. A bunch of different stuff has been leaked to be within this season. 5 new leaked weapons that we're going to be covering and talking about within this game. Some new Warzone map changes that we may actually see within Season 4. A bunch of the release date information. When exactly are we expecting Season 4 to release? And a bunch of other good Modern Warfare information. So if you can leave a like, that would be greatly appreciated. If we can go for 300 likes, that'd be sick. And let's get started first with Hard Hat coming to Modern Warfare. This is just a quick update. This is obviously not Season 4, but I wanted to add this in because this mid-Season 3 reloaded map that they gave us here, the roadmap for Season 3, did not include Hard Hat, and people were confused. They were like, wait a second, you guys said Hard Hat was supposed to be coming to Modern Warfare Season 3. Where is it? Is it being delayed to Season 4? Did they scrap Hard Hat from Modern Warfare? And they finally clarified. Someone actually asked Joe Seacott, when are we getting the map Hard Hat? It was one of my favorite maps, obviously back from MW3, and Joe Seacott responded, the mid-season update. I'm excited too. The problem is the mid-season update probably should have happened at the beginning of May because Season 4 is releasing June 3rd. We'll talk more about the release date in the middle of this video, but it's supposed to release June 3rd, so we're already pretty close to that point. We're almost 3 weeks away from then, so I don't know. Hopefully Hard Hat comes very soon. It's leaked within the game. Here's an image up on screen that a bunch of people are seeing. They're actually getting into the menu of Hard Hat. They can't get into the actual map, but they got this sort of image here, this text of Hard Hat being shown within Modern Warfare right now, so we know it's coming very soon, so that's definitely cool to see. Now with Season 4, let's go through the weapons and let's go through a bunch of the important leaks that we're seeing for this upcoming season. Now up until this point, every season we receive 3 new weapons. We have 2 at the beginning of the season, and then we have 1 midway through the season. This time around, at least in the files, we have 5 different weapons that were leaked. So I think the best way to look at this is that 3 of these 5 weapons will be within Season 4, and then the other 2 may be added on as an extra bonus or will be pushed back to Season 5. So the weapons that were leaked are as follows. So the first one here is the ACP-9. I'll show a little image of this weapon up on screen. It's a 9mm ammo SMG, has a high rate of fire, and it's been in the game files for a pretty long time, probably since the release and even before the release of Modern Warfare, and it's popping up again now for some reason. There's 4 mysterious blueprints apart with this weapon. There's a full variety of attachments, so it's a very interesting SMG, and we'll have to see if this is one of the weapons they decide to bring within Modern Warfare's Season 4. Now, the second weapon here was something that has been recently leaked. It's a weapon we all know and love. It's the Vector. With a lot of these weapons in the game files, some of the stats were actually leaked. Not all of the stats, but some of them. So the stats are saying from the files that this Vector in Modern Warfare 2019 has the second highest rate of fire in the game behind the minigun, and it also has poor range and control. That sounds about right with the Vector. Most Vectors in past Call of Duties have that same sort of style, especially I'm thinking back to Black Ops 2. I feel like you can put attachments on the Black Ops 2 Vector and make it so the range and control was actually pretty good. So we'll see how you can handle and use attachments within Modern Warfare to make the Vector a really solid weapon. The next weapon here that was leaked was the HKG-28. Now this weapon is pretty much a DMR chambered with 7.62 rounds. It's got that same vibe just with 7.62 rounds. Its accuracy from the code is on par with most other snipers, and it has average range and damage, and there wasn't really a lot else leaked for this weapon, but it does seem like a pretty interesting weapon. And again, we'll have to see if it's one of the new weapons that come to Modern Warfare within Season 4. So the next one here is obviously another fan favorite. This was also recently leaked. It's the Galil, and we know what the Galil is. We know how it is within most Call of Duties, especially from the trailer Call of Duties, but you know, we go into Infinity Ward now, and especially with Modern Warfare, this weapon could be a lot different than before. It says within the code that it has solid damage, only a point behind the AK, and it has good control, and then all the other stats are average, so that sounds pretty solid for a Galil. Then obviously we'll have to see how it plays when we actually get this weapon in Season Season 4. Now, the last one here is the XM109. So, looking at the image, to most people, it looks like a sniper at first glance, but the cartridges are actually for grenades, and it's pretty much, at least from the code, a long-range grenade launcher. So, not a long-range rocket launcher, it's a long-range grenade launcher. And the leaker was saying that, you know, this might not even be a normal weapon, it might sort of be this special weapon only seen within Warzone, and I could see that happening because I don't know why you need a long-range grenade launcher within the standard multiplayer playlist. I feel like that's a little bit of a weird situation, and it might be kind of annoying depending on how powerful this grenade launcher actually is. So I'm not so sure about that one, but it's in the code, it's there, so it might be coming. So here's the deal with Season 4. Obviously, we need 3 weapons to come within the season. I think it's pretty obvious that the 3 weapons are most likely going to be the Galil, the Vector, and the HK28. I think the Galil and Vector are probably gonna come, you know, those are the most popular weapons, those were recently leaked, those 2 make sense, and then the HK28, it seems like they would add that in and throw that in as well. The grenade launcher and the first SMG, I'm not too sure about. The first SMG has been in the game for a very long time and it still has not released, so who knows when it's actually going to release. But right now, I'm pretty confident about those 3 weapons being within Modern Warfare in Season 4. Now let's talk about the release date very quickly for this season, and then we'll talk about some events coming to Warzone potentially for Season 4. Now, Season 4, at least if you're looking at the normal schedule for Modern Warfare seasons, should be very soon, the beginning of June. Each Modern Warfare season, on average, lasts around 8 weeks. So if you use that 8 weeks for a Modern Warfare season, Season 3 released on Wednesday, April 8th, and Season 4 will release on Wednesday, June 3rd. If we don't get any delays and everything is set on track, we're probably going to get this season that Wednesday. Now, it may be a day before, so it may actually be Tuesday, June 2nd, or maybe, you know, Thursday, June 4th. You know, sometimes these updates are a little weird. Now, a lot of the recent playlist updates for Modern Warfare have been on a Wednesday night when they're usually Tuesday during the day, so things are a little out of whack right now. All of the developers are working from home, and just the timing for these updates and obviously Season 4 will be slightly different, but Wednesday, June 3rd is that middle point. It's going to be that week and probably even that day or that night. So that's Season 4, and I'll update you guys if we get more information on the release for that season very soon. Now let's look at Season 4 events. Let's talk about Season 4 in the Warzone perspective, because Warzone is very important to Modern Warfare, and obviously they were talking about Warzone having a lot more events, a lot more going on with it, some storyline action, a lot of different stuff. So this is what was said here. Players have already discovered that there is a whole other dance that they haven't seen yet. They have found clues and that there is more than meets the eye in this city. Season 4 will unravel some of those mysteries and unlock some of them for our players. As the battle in Verdansk wages on, things will grow more desperate. There are going to be more and more fighters set in to turn the tide, and we're very excited to get our players to see and join alongside these new great warriors as they continue to fight. He goes on to say, on the gameplay stuff, I can tell you that there will definitely be new modes. We're working on new modes all the time. New modes will be releasing, new content, new items for your loadout, new items in BR and Plunder, and a bunch of different stuff like that, field upgrades, etc. So that's all general. We know obviously, especially with the release of Season 4 in Warzone, we're going to get a lot of different changes to Warzone, at least in terms of the new playlist, the new weapons for Warzone, different items, different abilities within the game, maybe different stuff from the actual item shop and all of that different stuff. So you never know what goes on there, but they go on to talk about some more stuff with the events, and he actually clarifies what they were talking about with Fortnite style events in Warzone. So it actually says here, I wouldn't say they're Fortnite like events because Fortnite is a different type of game than Modern Warfare. With Fortnite, you know that the world is ever evolving and ever changing so much, you kind of don't want it to go away or you might miss something. It's the same thing with Warzone. But I think he doesn't specifically say what these new events are going to be like, but I think the real difference here is that the Fortnite style events are a bit more extravagant, a bit more cartoony. You have the third-party support like the Travis Scott concert, all the different stuff. With Warzone, it's not going to be that weird stuff. It's really going to be centered on different stuff occurring within the game, and you're not going to see like this massive explosion within the Warzone map, and the impacts to the map, if there is any crazy event, will probably be fairly minimal, but there still will be something that sets up the game and it, sort of expands the Warzone storyline, because they do also talk about the storyline being an interesting part for Warzone, because all of the game modes within Modern Warfare all sort of relate to each other in some sort of way. Warzone is going to continue to have sort of the battles and the different rivalries between the allegiances and the operators, as we see within multiplayer, Spec Ops and campaign in Modern Warfare. So however they play that out, hopefully it is cool, hopefully it is interesting, and hopefully the events, they don't need to be like Fortnite style events, but they could at least be something that, gets people hyped up and really makes a slight difference that's good enough for people, where you hop into Warzone and you're like, you know what, this location is actually different because of this event, and people start getting hyped up like what's gonna happen next. So hopefully all of that stuff comes to Warzone and Modern Warfare very soon. So that's pretty much all of the leaks we have now regarding Modern Warfare Season 4. If you did enjoy, leave a comment below Season 4. Tell me what you're hyped to see within the game, and I'll see you guys later.